Dear students, last class we completed Boyle's law. So today we start the next gases law, Charles law. So Boyle's law related volume and pressure. Volume and pressure are inversely proportional. Charles law relates volume with the temperature. So when you consider a gas at constant pressure with a fixed mass, volume will be directly proportional to the temperature. So this is Charles law. For a fixed mass of gas at constant pressure, volume will be directly proportional to the temperature. So proportionality can be removed by introducing a constant K. We can rearrange this as V by T is equal to K. So this is the mathematical relationship of Charles law. At two different temperatures, we may write the expression as V1 by T1 is equal to V2 by T2 is equal to K. So Charles law relates volume with temperature. When temperature changes, volume will also be changed. When we increase the temperature, volume will be increased for gaseous molecules at constant pressure. When temperature is reduced, volume will also be reduced. So both are directly proportional. For that, an example is given in your book at page number 162. You can observe the balloon. When the balloon is kept in cold water as well as hot water, you can observe the change in the volume. In cold water, you just observe the volume of a balloon. Then in the hot water, the balloon will expand, so volume increases. So temperature increases, volume will also increase. So these two factors are directly proportional. To explain that, we are going to draw a graph between the factors volume and the temperature. We take temperature in the x-axis, volume in the y-axis. The temperature is mentioned in terms of Celsius scale. So, in Celsius scale, we represent temperature 100 degrees Celsius, 200 degrees Celsius, like that. In Celsius scale, we mention the temperature. Then volume is taken in y-axis. So here minus 100, minus 200. So when we relate temperature and pressure, we get a straight line, right? For a gas, when we relate its volume with temperature, we get a straight line. So this indicates volume and temperature are directly proportional. Okay. So since we get straight line, the straight line equation is y is equal to mx plus c. Instead of x and y, here we relate volume and temperature. So straight line equation can be written as v is equal to mt plus c. We take it as equation number 1. So we maintain mass as a constant. For a fixed mass of gas at constant pressure, we relate volume and temperature. So both are directly proportional. So we have obtained a straight line. C is a constant. M is also a constant. The straight line is called isobar. When these two factors are related, the straight line is attained. This is called isobar. Okay. So in the first equation, we are going to make some changes, right? Consider temperature is 0 degrees Celsius. When temperature is 0 degrees Celsius, this volume is called as V0. When temperature is 0 degrees Celsius, volume can be considered as V0. V0 is equal to, equation 1 is rearranged as, when temperature T is equal to 0, volume will be rearranged as V0 M into temperature 0 plus C. So V0 is equal to C. Substitute this value in equation 1. V is equal to MT plus, instead of C we write V0. So this is equation number 2. So from the straight line equation, we have obtained equation 2. Okay. Since we get a straight line, we can calculate slope value. The slope value M is equal to delta V by delta T. Just to substitute in equation number 2, V is equal to delta V by delta T, T plus V0. Then this equation is taken as 3. The third equation is divided by V0. Divide this third equation by V0, we get V by V0 is equal to 1 by V0 delta V by delta T multiplied by T plus 1. Okay. So this is considered as equation number 4. Then Charles and Gay-Lussac, both are scientists. Charles as well as Gay-Lussac, they are assuming that for every rise of temperature, there will be increase of volume. So both are directly proportional. When temperature increases, volume will increase. For every degree rise of temperature, how much volume increases? They are calculating. We can take different gases like hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, different gases can be taken. The increase in volume of different gases per degree rise of temperature, we just increase 1 degree Celsius temperature. So increase in volume of different gases for 1 degree rise of temperature will be same. Whatever may be the gas, volume increase for 1 degree rise of temperature will be same. So this is their assumption. Okay. So based on that, they introduce the value alpha. So alpha is nothing but increase in volume of gas for 1 degree rise of temperature. When the gas is at 27 degrees Celsius, when we increase the temperature by 1 degree Celsius, at 28 degrees Celsius, how much volume have increased? So the factor alpha is introduced. This is nothing but increase in volume of gas for 1 degree rise of temperature, which is 1 by V0 delta V by delta T. So this factor is introduced to substitute the alpha value in equation number 4. So take equation number 4, V by V0 is equal to, instead of this we substitute alpha T plus 1. We take it as equation number 5. Okay. Next, equation number 5 is multiplied by V0. So we get V is equal to V0 alpha T plus V0, and V0 is common, so V is equal to V0 alpha t plus 1, and take it as equation number 6. Okay. So according to Charles' law, volume and temperature are directly proportional. So when we relate these two terms, we get a straight line. So from the straight line equation, y is equal to mx plus c. Finally, we have obtained this equation. V is equal to V0 alpha t plus 1. This is the final equation we obtained. Next, to take the straight line, now extrapolate the straight line. Okay. You just extrapolate the straight line. When the straight line is extrapolated, it intersects at one particular temperature. So x-axis represents temperature. So here minus 100 degrees Celsius, minus 200, minus 300, like that. After getting straight line, when the straight line is extrapolated this side, it intersects at one particular temperature, and the temperature is minus 273.15 degrees Celsius. So the intersection is at minus 273.15 degrees Celsius, and this temperature is called as absolute zero. Okay. The temperature is denoted as absolute zero. So Charles found the coefficient of expansion. When temperature increases, volume increases. For every 1 degree rise of temperature, how much volume increased? So Charles related these two. Based on that, Charles found the coefficient of expansion as 1 by 273. Okay. So 1 by 273 is the coefficient of expansion. So he said that for every degree rise of temperature for a gaseous molecule, the volume increase will be 1 by 273. So all these concepts you have to remind. Okay. Volume is directly proportional to temperature. When these two are related, we get a straight line. So y is equal to mx plus z is a straight line equation. From that, we have obtained this one. From the slope value m, we get delta v by delta t. Then increase in volume of a gas for 1 degree rise of temperature alpha is equal to 1 by v0 delta v by delta t. All these you have to thorough. Next, the coefficient of expansion is calculated by Charles is 1 by 273. So he said that volume increase for every 1 degree rise of temperature will be in terms of 1 by 273. Then the straight line is extrapolated. It intersects at minus 273.15 degrees Celsius. We call this as absolute zero temperature. This temperature is called absolute zero because volume is V0, isn't it? When the line intersects, what is the volume of gas? Volume of gas is 0. Beyond this temperature, volume will be negative, but practically it is impossible, isn't it? When a gas is present in a container, at one particular temperature, volume will be 0. So no gases will be there. But beyond this temperature, beyond this minus 273.15, volume will be a negative value, but it is not possible. Okay. So at one particular temperature, volume of the gas will be 0. Okay. So we call the temperature as absolute zero. This is introduced by the scientist Kelvin. Okay. So Kelvin introduced the value absolute zero, the temperature at which volume of a gas is 0. So based on this absolute zero value, he introduced a new temperature scale. Already we follow Celsius scale, isn't it? We already follow Celsius scale. Kelvin introduced a new temperature scale called Kelvin scale. So what is the absolute zero value for a gas? Minus 273.15 degrees Celsius. At this temperature, volume of the gas will be 0. From this, for every 1 degree rise of temperature, increase of volume will be what? 1 by 273. Then this absolute zero value is taken as a starting point of Kelvin scale. Minus 273.15 degrees Celsius is taken as 0 Kelvin. So in Kelvin scale, starting point will be 0 Kelvin. To take water, the freezing point or melting point of ice, 0 degrees Celsius, isn't it? In Celsius scale, freezing point, melting point of ice, freezing point of water, melting point of ice will be 0 degrees Celsius. That means how much temperature in Kelvin scale? 273.15 Kelvin. Okay, because with this we add plus 273.15, then only we will get 0. From this, how we will get a 0? With this, when we add 273.15, we will get 0. So that 0 plus 273.15. Okay. Then what is the boiling point of water? Boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. So 0 plus 100 degrees Celsius. 273.15 plus 100, 373.15 Kelvin. So Celsius scale and Kelvin scale temperature have given in your book, page number 164. So this is called Charles law. Charles law relates volume with the temperature. Based on that, we conclude introduction of a new scale, Kelvin temperature scale. Next, using the Charles law, we can find the missing values in a problem. You take 3 containers. When we relate to volume and temperature, mass and the pressure will be a constant. So pressure is constant. We maintain 1 atmospheric pressure in all the 3 containers. Volume and temperature will be different. So there will be some missing values. In first container, volume is 0.3 decimeter cube. The temperature is maintained as 200 Kelvin. In container 2, we don't know the volume, but the maintained temperature is 300 Kelvin. In the third container, the volume is 0.15 decimeter cube, but we don't know the temperature. So according to Charles law, at constant pressure, V1 divided by T1 is equal to V2 divided by T2 is equal to V3 divided by T3. So using this relationship, we are going to find the missing terms V2 as well as T3. These two can be calculated. So 0.3 divided by 200 is equal to V2 divided by 300 is equal to 0.15 divided by T3. So we need these two values. So we can relate these two. So rearrange this. V2 is equal to 0.3 multiplied by 300 divided by 200. The volume of gas in the second container will be 0.45 decimeter cube. Then we can relate the values of first and third container. We need T3. T3 is equal to 0.15. This will be multiplied by 200 divided by 0.3. So the temperature in the third container is 100 Kelvin. So using Charles law, we can calculate the missing values in the problem. Next, we move into Gay-Lussac's law. So according to Gay-Lussac's law, when we take a gas at constant volume, we maintain volume as a constant, pressure is directly proportional to the temperature. For a fixed mass of gas at constant volume, pressure is directly proportional to the temperature. So proportionality can be removed by introducing a constant K. So this will be rearranged as P by T is equal to K. At two different temperatures, we may write it as P1 by T1 is equal to P2 by T2 is equal to K. So this is called Gay-Lussac's law of gaseous molecules. Next one, Avogadro's hypothesis. You take Avogadro's hypothesis. You take different gases like hydrogen, fluorine, chlorine, nitrogen, whatever may be the gaseous molecule. When equal volume is taken at constant temperature and pressure, the number of molecules will be same. So this relates volume with number of moles. It's nothing but number of molecules. So different gases can be taken with the same volume at a constant temperature and pressure. Number of molecules will be same. For example, if you take 22.4 liter of hydrogen, fluorine, chlorine, nitrogen, all these gases will contain exactly 6.023 into 10 power 23 molecules of hydrogen, fluorine, chlorine and nitrogen. So this is Avogadro's hypothesis. Equal volume of all gases under the conditions of temperature and pressure will have equal number of molecules. So this is Avogadro's hypothesis. Volume is directly proportional to the number of moles. Proportionality can be removed by introducing a constant K. So this can be written as V by N is equal to K. At two different conditions, we may write V1 by N1 is equal to V2 by N2 is equal to K. So this is Avogadro's hypothesis. We don't have proof for that, so that this is considered as hypothesis. So today we have completed Charles' law, Gay-Lussac's law and Avogadro's hypothesis. So according to Boyle's law, volume is inversely proportional to pressure. According to Charles' law, volume is directly proportional to temperature. According to Gay-Lussac's law, pressure is directly proportional to temperature. According to Avogadro's hypothesis, volume is directly proportional to number of moles. Okay. Using these, we are going to derive ideal gas equation. So tomorrow we will discuss about what is ideal gas and how can we derive ideal gas equation. Thank you.